If you're a 90s kid and you grew up in the early 2000s, there's probably only a handful of gaming experiences, if you played any video games, that stand up to this particular game. For its time, it was a pretty revolutionary experience. And defined gaming for a lot of us in our, I don't know, I was, I think, 12 when it came out, so. Of course, the game, as you already know, that I'm talking about is the one and only Halo 2. And when I was 12, this game came out on like November 7th or something like that, back in 2004. And I didn't own an Xbox yet, but my stepbrother owned an Xbox, and we played a lot of Halo 1 on his Xbox. So when Halo 2 was coming out, I didn't really even have a way to play it on my own. I had to be at my dad's house to play it on my stepbrother's Xbox, but I asked for Halo 2. And that very night of my 12th birthday, my dad and I drove over to the local game store and ended up getting the collector's edition of Halo 2. I didn't even know collector's editions existed. But the guy at the counter asked me if I wanted it for $10 more. And being an insane Halo fan, of course, I did. And then, even more awesome of my dad at the time was that he was willing to purchase the official guide for Halo 2 at the same time. So I walked home, we drove home with Halo 2 Collector's Edition, which I still have to this day, although the metal case is beat up quite a bit, and the Halo 2 official guide, which I didn't really need or use while playing the game, but I loved looking at this, and it's been a long time since I've looked at this. So today I figured we would go through and read a little bit about what it means to play Halo 2. Way back in 2004, the dawn of Xbox Live, and the dawn of the insane success that Halo would see for another few years before Bungie left it behind. So let's get into this. Take a look at this guide. Some of you might have owned this back in the day, but if not, hopefully you get to see some pretty epic artwork today. The contents of this guide. Spoiler warning. The Piggyback Guide is designed to enhance your Halo 2 experience with tips, strategies, and inside information. It is not our intention, however, to ruin Halo 2's captivating storyline for you. This guide has been carefully designed to minimize annoying spoilers, with plot-sensitive information positioned carefully in the relevant sections of the campaign chapter. If you value the Halo 2 narrative experience, and you really should, please don't read level walkthroughs until you arrive at the corresponding point in the game. So it's broken down into a few parts. We've got how to play, campaign mode, multiplayer mode, extras, and then the index. And here we have Chief kicking some brute ass, as you would expect. Section 1, how to play. Halo 2 is not just bigger than its predecessor. It's more complicated too, with new weapons, enemies, vehicles, and innumerable new experiences. This section explains the fundamental skills required to control the Master Chief, and how to put his many abilities to best use. From basic controller functions to expert hints and tips, the following pages are an essential read for Halo Combat Evolved graduates and new recruits alike. Quick start for beginners. Even if you're keen to leap feet first into Halo 2's campaign or multiplayer mode, you should at least read the following steps first. Press Start or A on the title screen. If it's your first game, you'll need to create a new profile before you can play. Your profile tracks your individual settings and information, such as controller configuration and campaign progress. Creating one is simple. A name will suffice. You can return to your profile at any point to change your personal settings. If you want to sign into Xbox Live, you can refer to page 158 for more details. Having second thoughts? Simply select Don't Sign In. The main menu allows access to the campaign mode, the settings menu, and 3 flavors of multiplayer via Xbox Live. Split screen, up to 4 players on a single Xbox, and system link multiple connected Xbox consoles. A chapter dedicated to Halo 2's extraordinary multiplayer component can be found on page 156. The settings menu allows you to edit or create profiles. I think I'll skip around a little bit. Select campaign if you want to fight the Master Chief's war against the Covenant. You can play this mode alone, new campaign, or via a split screen display with a friend, cooperative. Halo 2 begins with a short training section which allows new players to become accustomed to controlling the Master Chief. With the default control setup, the left thumbstick allows you to move forward, back, left, and right. The right thumbstick allows you to look around, up, down, left, and right. If this dual stick system is new to you, it may initially feel quite strange and confusing. As you begin to play Halo 2, you'll notice that you reach regular checkpoints signaled by the on-screen text, "Checkpoint done," when arriving at certain areas or having achieved certain goals. For Halo veterans, if you're a seasoned Halo Combat Evolved campaigner, you will already be aware of many basic Halo 2 ingredients, like the control system and checkpoints. There are some important new features that you should familiarize yourself with. You can now use 2 weapons at once. While holding a small weapon like a pistol, you can choose to pick up a similar or identical weapon and use both simultaneously. This is known as dual wielding. You can now hijack or board enemy vehicles. Press and hold X to dislodge a vehicle's current driver from his seat, but only when it is moving at a non-lethal pace. Weapons generally work as they did in Halo Combat Evolved, but there are several small changes in detail. For example, the pistol, the MC6 Magnum, no longer has a built-in scope and is less powerful now. The Master Chief's MJOLNIR Mark VI battlesuit has been upgraded and now offers, among other details, a built-in zoom function. The on-screen display has been modified. You'll find an authoritative overview of the new HUD on page 12. Section 2. Main menu. The story mode of Halo 2 is called Campaign. Select the option New Campaign to start the single-player mode. If you've already got a saved game, you can continue with Resume. You can also revisit previously completed levels by opting for Select Level. Xbox Live Split Screen System Link. These options allow access to Halo 2's multiplayer modes on a single Xbox through networked Xbox consoles, or online with Xbox Live. You can find a comprehensive overview of the massive number of multiplayer settings, a wealth of useful strategy tips and guides to each map in a dedicated section, beginning on page 158. Using player profiles. Using this option, you can create, edit, change, or delete profiles. Appearance, voice output, voice masking, and online status are specific to the multiplayer mode. Thumbstick layout. Tailor each thumbstick to suit you. Southpaw will exchange the functions of the right and left stick, which makes it a good choice for left-handed players. Button layout. You can change the layout for your controller's buttons and triggers. Look sensitivity. You can increase and decrease the speed at which you look around with the right thumbstick. Look inversion. By default, moving the right thumbstick up or down will make the Master Chief look in those directions. However, a number of first-person shooter aficionados prefer to invert this vertical axis. Automatic look centering. If you activate this function, the Master Chief's view will return to a central point as you begin to move. Controller vibration. If you don't want your controller to vibrate in accordance with various game events, you can deactivate it here. Game variants. Halo 2 has an outstanding wealth of multiplayer options and settings. In the Game Variants menu, you can create your very own match type for future play. Section 3. Basic instructions. Before you enter combat, it's important to have a reasonable grasp of Halo 2's control system and various game concepts. The Master Chief is a powerful, versatile warrior, as indeed are his elite equivalents if you opt to play as one in multiplayer mode. But he's not invincible. To help him survive against a tide of Covenant foes, you'll need to learn and utilize every conceivable skill. Even those who have braved the horrors of Installation 04 in Halo Combat Evolved should take the time to reacquaint themselves with Spartan 117 and his revised Mjolnir Mark VI battlesuit. Over here we have the button configurations and what each button does provide for the chief. The button configuration used in this guide is based on Halo 2's default settings. Heads-up display. The game environment is viewed through the visor of the Master Chief's battlesuit. You should familiarize yourself with the information provided by the overlaid heads-up display, or HUD, as soon as possible. The Master Chief's HUD is blue. If you're playing as a Covenant Elite in multiplayer mode, the display will be purple. Grenades. To the left are plasma grenades with fragmentation grenades on the right. The current selected grenade will be highlighted. Weapon info. On the upper right hand of the screen, you'll see a symbol denoting your current choice of weapons. The display is different for Covenant plasma weapons. Secondary weapon. The smaller symbol reminds you which weapon you are currently holding in reserve. Crosshair. The shape of the crosshair depends on the weapon in use. The color helps you differentiate between hostile and allied targets. Therefore, it will be red for Covenant forces and green for humans. Warning indicators. Occasionally you'll see symbols blinking under your crosshair, offering information on the condition of your weapon. Reload. Your weapon will be reloaded automatically. Low ammo. Only with weapons that use projectile ammunition. No ammo. Low battery. Only with plasma weapons. No battery. No grenades. Shield energy. As enemy and even friendly fire hits home, the gauge will be depleted. When it reaches its lower extent, this display will begin to blink red. You will also hear two distinct audio cues as your shield sustains damage. Motion tracker. The motion tracker reveals the position of moving or firing enemies as red dots. Allies such as human soldiers or teammates during multiplayer matches are shown as yellow dots. Information. If there is a nearby weapon that you could collect or dual wield, this information will appear on the left side of the screen. Waypoint indicator. Certain situations require the use of a navigational aid to specify a position or object that you have to reach. Abilities and actions. The authorities behind the Spartan 2 project sought to create the ultimate augmented human warriors. The Master Chief, as the sole survivor of this unique cast, is blessed with outstanding agility, strength, and skill. As you guide him through Halo 2, you'll soon learn that an appreciation of his many abilities, and at times his limitations, is essential. Movement. While you obviously know that you can move the Master Chief with the left thumbstick and look around with the right thumbstick, it's vital to remember that these controls are analog. Angle of vision. If you want to see what's going on to your left or right side without moving an inch, use the right thumbstick. The practice of moving with the thumbstick while looking around and aiming with the other can be quite tricky for novices. Jump. Press A to jump. The Mjolnir Mark VI battlesuit augments the Master Chief's innate agility, allowing him to leap an impressive height. Crouching. Press the left thumbstick button to make the Master Chief crouch. Climbing. It's not something that the Master Chief is required to do on a regular basis, but there are occasional instances where he must climb ladders. Activate. When you encounter a device that can be used to call an elevator or open certain doors, for example, you will be advised of this fact by an on-screen prompt. Equipment. Shields. The Mjolnir Mark VI battlesuit is protected by a powerful energy shield. Gunfire, explosions, melee attacks, and collisions with flying objects knocked in your direction by a belligerent hunter, for instance, will all reduce its ability to protect Spartan 117 from harm. When the shield's energy becomes dangerously low, you should take cover and allow it time to recharge. Flashlight. You can toggle your flashlight on and off by pressing the white button. This source of illumination will always be directed at the area you are facing. Scope. Press the right thumbstick button to activate a zoom function. There is only one level of magnification. Motion tracker. The motion tracker is displayed at the lower left-hand area of the screen. This essential device will save the Master Chief's life on many occasions during combat, but be warned, it is not a radar. An enemy must fire or move to betray their position to the device. Static or stealthy assailants will not be displayed. How to use weapons. Collecting weapons. You will be notified on your HUD if you can collect a nearby weapon. Press and hold X to collect it and discard the one you are carrying. Dual wield. To dual wield is to hold two firearms at once, each fired by the corresponding left and right triggers on your controller. Shooting. Use R to fire a weapon. Every firearm in Halo 2 has its own features. You can read about their individual strengths and shortcomings from page 22. It may require you to tap or hold the trigger to access individual fire modes. Aiming. The reticule may change from weapon to weapon, but the principle remains the same. Take aim and fire. You could say it is simple point. You could say it's a simple point and click interface. Reload. Human weapons must be reloaded when their current clip is depleted. If you attempt to fire, or with an automatic weapon continue to fire, when their bullets counts reach 0, the Master Chief will perform an immediate reload. Collecting ammunition. To collect ammunition, simply walk over an available clip or weapon, and the Master Chief will automatically add what he finds to his current stocks. close combat. Even when with the combined weapon technology of the human and a Covenant race is at your disposal, you should never underestimate the potency of a well-timed melee attack. Collecting grenades. As with ammunition, grenades are collected automatically as the Master Chief walks over them. Throwing grenades. Press the left trigger to hurl a grenade. If you're dual wielding, you'll need to drop your second weapon first. Toggle grenades. Use the black button to toggle between the two varieties of grenades in your inventory. Turrets. To man a stationary turret, press and hold X. You can fire with R, and should do so with gusto. Entering vehicles. To enter a vehicle, approach it and press and hold X. An on-screen prompt will inform you when you are sufficiently close. The same button allows you to jump out. Boarding vehicles. If the velocity of an enemy-controlled vehicle is sufficiently low, you can attempt to hijack it. Move yourself quickly and safely to a close distance, then press and hold X when prompted to do so. Flipping vehicles. Using his natural strength and the power of his battlesuit, the Master Chief can flip an overturned vehicle to restore it to working order. Essential information. Checkpoints. Rather than diluting its appeal by allowing players to save their progress at any position, or inflicting the old-school horror of sending players back to the very beginning of the level when they die, Halo 2 uses a checkpoint system. Saving your game. Passing a checkpoint creates a temporary save position. If you turn your Xbox off, you will lose your progress. To make a permanent save, press the start and choose Save and Quit. Pause menu. Use Start to bring the actions to a halt. The pause menu offers the following options: continue, revert to last checkpoint, restart level, controller settings, save and quit. Weapons. Section 4. Every weapon in Halo 2 is unique in terms of raw power, ammo capacity, speed, and range, not to mention miscellaneous strengths and shortcomings. Each firearm is defined by distinct characteristics. Due to the varied nature of the enemies you'll face, there is no such thing as the perfect gun for the occasions. Learning to equip the right weapon for the job at hand is half the battle. Think of your choice of armaments as a more involved version of the rock, paper, scissors game. A plasma rifle is a great tool for destroying the shields of an elite, for example, but will be woefully underpowered if you're facing a hunter. Similarly, dual-wielding SMGs might cut through grunts like butter, but they're not the ideal choice if you're facing a pack of jackals. Generally, your secondary weapon should provide you with options your primary firearm does not. You can find out more about basic weapons usage on page 17. UNSC weaponry. By the year 2552 military calendar, human weapon science has undergone an evolution, not revolution. UNSC armaments utilize technology first conceived centuries before and are based on what is, by Covenant and Forerunner standards. the almost archaic principle of accelerating crude metal projectiles. Still, as the saying goes, if it hurts, it works. While spaceborne combat exchanges have invariably led to the decimation of its fleets, Homo sapiens has fared a little better when given the opportunity to launch its latter-day spears at the Covenant on solid ground. The Magnum. Official designation M6C Magnum sidearm. Projectile type 12.7mm semi-armor piercing. Dual wield, yes. Damage, medium. Range, close. Accuracy, medium. Rate of fire, medium. Auto fire capability, manual. Magazine capacity, 12 bullets. Ammunition, 48. Reload speed, slow. Melee attack, average. Scope, no. A stripped-down version of the M6D pistol equipped by the crew of the Pillar of Autumn during the battle with the Covenant on Installation 04. The Magnum does not have a scope, and therefore lacks the very feature that made its counterpart so deceptively deadly in Halo Combat Evolved. The SMG. M7 caseless submachine gun. Projectile type 5mm. Dual wield, yes. Damage, low. Range, close. Accuracy, low. Rate of fire, high. Auto fire capability, continuous fire. Magazine capacity, 60 bullets. Ammunition, 180. Reload speed, slow. Melee attack, average. Scope, no. The SMG's strength is its high rate of fire. While individual shots are not enormously damaging, its full automatic mode has led to it being dubbed the bullet hose by users in the UNSC. When dual wielding, it allows the Master Chief to drown targets in a venerable torrent of projectiles. Variable. The battle rifle. BR-55 rifle. Projectile type 9.5mm. Dual wield, no. Damage, medium. Range, medium. Accuracy, medium. High with scope. Rate of fire, medium. Auto fire capability, short bursts. Magazines, 38. Ammunition, 108. Reload speed, slow. Melee attack, slow. Scope, 2 times. Replacing the M45B assault rifle found in Halo Combat Evolved, the battle rifle was built with high reliability and ease of use in mind. With every pull of its trigger, the BR-55 fires a burst of 3 bullets. It is a precise, clinical tool when used by a well-trained soldier. If this SMG could be described as a bullet cudgel, as a brutish cudgel, the battle rifle is more akin to a scalpel in the right hands. Shotgun. M90 shotgun. Projectile type 8-gauge Magnum. Dual wield, no. Damage, high. Range, very close. Accuracy, low. Rate of fire, low. Auto fire capability, manual. Magazine capacity, 12 bullets. Ammunition, 36. Reload speed, very slow. Melee attack, fast. Scope, no. A weapon design that has barely changed since first conceived. The shotgun is a close-range firearm that can stop any creature, human or Covenant, in its tracks. Deadly at short distances, it is a weapon that even elites should fear. It can overload some shields in a single shot. With it, you can make aggressive charges toward foes, punching through flesh and armor before they have the opportunity to return fire. It can also be, in turn, a great means of defense. When pinned down under cover, or having ducked behind a corner to allow the Master Chief's shields time to recharge, any Covenant soldier with the temerity to rush your position should meet with a venomous rebuke from your M90. Sniper Rifle. Official designation, S2AM Sniper Rifle. Projectile type, 14.5mm armor-piercing, fin-stabilized discarding sabot. Dual wield, no. Damage, very high. Range, very long. Accuracy, very high. Rate of fire, low. Auto-fire capability, manual. Magazine capacity, 4 bullets. Ammunition, 20. Reload speed, slow. Melee attack, average. Scope, 5 times, 10 times. The sniper rifle is equipped with a scope that offers 2 levels of magnification, 5 times and 10 times. A lethal armament when equipped by a patient marksman. It enables you to pick off enemy forces from afar with impunity. Unless, of course, your opponents have their own snipers. You should always, with the exception of hunters, try to make headshots. These will inflict the maximum possible damage. Even the mightiest elites can be dispatched with 1 or 2 such impacts. The sheer velocity of the 14.5mm rounds will pierce their energy shields. Rocket Launcher. Official designation, M41 SSR MAVAW. Projectiles, 102mm shape charge high explosive tracking rockets. Dual wield, no. Damage, very high. Range, long. Accuracy, high. Charged homing. Rate of fire, low. Auto fire, manual. Magazine capacity, 2 rockets. Ammunition, 6. Reload speed, slow. Melee attack, slow. Scope, 2 times. The portable rocket launcher fires explosive missiles that can be fired with a homing capacity. Its basic point and launch functionality remains the same, though. Just direct it and pull the trigger. Its rockets are slow and noisy. They give a direct audio cue that will warn all nearby enemies of the incoming danger. As a rule of thumb, the best to aim the spanker, as it is also known, at the feet of infantry targets or, where relevant, a nearby wall. Its rockets have a large blast radius and can be devastating when used against groups or assailants, or when brandished carelessly, the Master Chief himself. It is also, of course, an anti-vehicular weapon of great potency. Frag grenade. Official designation, M9AGDP fragmentation grenade. Damage, high. Range, long. Ammunition, 4 grenades. As well as the titular effect of launching lethal high-speed shards when deployed, the frag grenade is also packed with high explosives. It is an anti-personnel weapon that can introduce chaos and carnage to even the most well-drilled group of infantry. And it is also effective against vehicles. When thrown, its timer begins on first impact with the surface. Detonation follows shortly afterwards. This feature makes it ideal for disrupting or eliminating well-armed or entrenched enemies from a position of relative safety. If you aim it at a wall, you can judge its bounce to drop it in the desired spot. It takes practice, but it's a technique you should hone as soon as possible. Turrets. Projectiles, 30 caliber. long. Accuracy, medium. Rate of fire, high. Auto fire, continuous fire. Ammunition, unlimited. Scope, no. Manning a turret is not entirely dissimilar to using a vehicle. Press X to take control and repeat to relinquish it. There are 2 humans and 2 Covenant turrets. The human turrets are high-powered machine guns found in 2 sizes, portable and fixed. Their 2 Covenant equivalents fire scorching blasts of superheated plasma. The latter can also be found equipped with energy shields that protect their operator. See page 31 for more details. Covenant weapons. Covenant weapons are, technically at least, far more advanced than those used by their human foes. Since the events of Halo Combat evolved, they have introduced new armaments to their frontline troops. If the Master Chief is to triumph, he must learn to use their varied characteristics to his advantage, and so, therefore, must you. Plasma pistol. Superheated plasma is the ammunition. Dual wield, yes. Damage, low. Range, close. Accuracy, medium. Rate of fire, low. Autofill capability, manual. Energy per round, 0.5%. Charged, 15%. Ammunition, 100%. Overheating, average. Melee attack, fast. Scope, no. As a rule, the plasma pistol is equipped by lower-ranking Covenant. Its basic form of fire is rather insufficient against larger groups of stronger foes, even in a dual-wield configuration. Attempts to imitate automatic fire by pulling a trigger quickly will soon lead to it overheating. Why then, you might wonder, should you choose to use it at all? The short answer is charged shots. Plasma rifle. Ammunition, superheated plasma. Dual wield, yes. Damage, medium. Range, close. Accuracy, medium. Rate of fire, high. Auto fire capability, continuous fire. Energy per round, 0.5%. Ammunition, 100%. Overheating after approximately 6% to 7%. Melee attack, fast. Scope, no. The plasma rifle is another staple of Covenant troops, and is mainly brandished by elites. It fires blue-white plasma at high velocity and can be fired automatically. It is inclined to overheat rapidly, however, and is limited by a built-in fail-safe system that kicks it once its temperature reaches a certain level. As with all handheld plasma weapons, you should always give it time to cool when necessary. Short, successive bursts of fire tend to work best, particularly against the energy shields of jackals and elites. When the battery is exhausted, or optimally when it's simply low, the plasma rifle should be replaced. Needler. Ammunition, crystalline projectiles. Dual wield, yes. Damage, low to high. Range, long. Accuracy, homing. Rate of fire, high. Auto fire capability, automatic. Magazine capacity, 30 needles. Ammunition, 90. Reload speed, average. Melee attacks, fast. Scope, no. Many players did not realize the true function of the Needler in Halo Combat Evolved until they attempted the legendary skill setting. On the default normal level, the Needler always appears somehow underpowered, occasionally useful, yes, but invariably eclipsed by better options. Legendary veterans, though, christened it to the Elite Killer, a weapon practically suited to dispatching the Master Chief's most intelligent assailants. For Halo 2, the Needler has been upgraded. It is now a far more effective weapon in general combat. Carbine. Ammunition, energy projectiles. Dual wield, no. Damage, medium. Range, medium. Accuracy, high. Rate of fire, low. Auto fire, manual. Magazine capacity, 18 projectiles. Ammunition, 72. Reload speed, average. Melee attack, average. Scope, 2 times. Compared with other examples of the Covenant armory, the carbine is somewhat unusual. Its energy projectiles are fast and damaging, but its single-shot design seems strangely old-fashioned. Don't misgauge its strength. When used by a professional, the carbine is an accurate weapon, redolent of a cross between the sniper rifle and battle rifle. The beam rifle. Ammunition, accelerated particle beam. Dual wield, no. Damage, very high. Range, very long. Accuracy, very high. Rate of fire, low. Auto fire capability, manual. Energy per round, 5 to 6%. Ammunition, max, 100%. Overheating after 2 shots in quick succession. Melee attack, medium. Scope, 5 times, 10 times. The beam rifle is the Covenant equivalent of the sniper rifle, with identical zoom capabilities and similar stopping power. Once again, it is best utilized to deliver headshots. The difference between the two is the ammunition type. In this case, an accelerated particle beam. The beam rifle has an integral battery that is limited to around 20 shots. The other Covenant weapons, it overheats with repeated fire, like other Covenant weapons. The brute shot. Ammunition, grenades, dual wield, no. Damage, high. Range, long. Accuracy, medium. Rate of fire, medium. Auto fire capability, manual. Magazine capacity, 4 grenades. Ammunition, 12. Reload speed, slow. Melee attack, slow. Scope, no. High-ranking brutes generally favor the brute shot, a grenade launcher that allows them to pepper targets with high explosives. It will take a little time to judge the trajectory of each launch correctly, as the grenades lose height over distance. It can be frustratingly imprecise on first use. When you first find one, take the time to practice. Once you pass a checkpoint, try to hone your skills before using revert to last checkpoint in the pause menu to resume. Fuel rod cannon. Ammunition, explosive energy projectiles. Dual wield, no. Damage, very high. Range, far. Accuracy, low. Rate of fire, medium. Auto fire, manual. Magazine capacity, 5. Ammunition, 25. Reload speed, medium. Melee attack, slow. Scope, no. The fuel rod cannon is a cumbersome and unwieldy device that, when equipped, obscures your field of view. It fires energy projectiles on a deteriorating arc. Remember to aim slightly higher than usual to hit distant targets. You should take the time to become accustomed to the ballistics trajectory that shots follow, and how they sink under the influence of gravity. You can use this characteristic to your advantage, hitting far targets that are on the other side of obstacles. Its green projectiles explode on impact, bathing the unfortunate souls at ground zero in an explosive wave. Even vehicles can't withstand a sustained barrage from the fuel rod cannon. Energy sword. Damage, high. Range, close combat. Melee attack, fast. Senior elites use this traditional weapon with pride in battle. Its use by their lower order or other covenant is strictly forbidden. When utilized in close combat, the energy sword can slice through shields and armor with consummate ease. The trick, of course, is to get close enough to do so. Most opponents will be wise enough to fire and move backwards as you charge. At anything other than short distances, this is almost suicidal. That's why this weapon is very useful against the Flood. Plasma grenade. Damage. High. Range. Long. 4 grenades. Don't make the mistake of assuming that frag grenades and plasma grenades are interchangeable. They both have very distinct characteristics. In the hands of a raw recruit, the plasma grenade is a dangerous weapon. When thrown by a master, however, they can be almost consistently lethal. This is due to their curious and conditional adhesive properties. If a plasma grenade hits a wall or generic piece of furniture, it will drop to the floor and explode after a short time. Should it hit a biological creature or vehicle, it will be irrevocably stuck under it until it explodes. Should you tag an enemy with one of these, some may panic and ideally run into their allies and envelop them in an ensuing explosion. Plasma cannon. Ammunition, superheated plasma. Damage, medium. Range, long. Accuracy, medium. Rate of fire, high. Auto-fire capability, continuous. Ammunition, unlimited. Scope, no. The plasma cannon is the Covenant version of the human turret, MG. It has a high rate of fire, and as Halo Combat Evolved aficionados will attest, it is a force to be feared. Usually operated by grunts, the gunner is easily dispatched by a well-aimed shot to the head. There are also plasma cannons that are equipped with shields. Reminiscent of those carried by jackals, these energy-based barriers are impervious to UNSC bullets. You'll need to use Covenant plasma weaponry, or grenades, to destroy them. Sentinel beam. Ammunition, unknown. Dual wield, no. Damage, medium. Range, low. Accuracy, medium. Rate of fire, continuous. Auto-fire capabilities, continuous. Energy per round, 1%. Ammunition, 100%. Overheating after 19%. Melee attack, slow. Scope, no. Precious little is known about the appropriated Forerunner technology, first encountered when used by the Sentinels on Installation 04. Short bursts of it caused little damage, but sustained beam assaults are withering. The Sentinel beam is best used by maintaining contact with the target until it expires or is destroyed. Once its powerful source is depleted, the weapon should be discarded. It is highly effective when used to strip shields, like those of, say, an elite. Section 5. Vehicles. With the Covenant making an unexpected planet call and ensuing and eschewing the visitor's traditional staple of tea and biscuits in favor of cold-blooded genocide. There's no time for the Master Chief to brush up his driving skills. Vehicles, be they of human or Covenant origin, should be instantly understood and piloted with the skills of a true virtuoso. To help you achieve this feat, be sure to digest the following hints and tips. General information. Hold X to board a vehicle. You can even board enemy vehicles that already have a driver. Once you are in place, the view will switch to a third-person perspective. The camera will now be placed behind you. UNSC transportation. Granted, when compared to Covenant tanks and attack craft, with their amazing anti-gravity systems, these human means of transportation might seem a little, well, archaic. They are, however, great fun to drive, and if you have the skill, they can punch well beyond their weight. Warthog. There's the M41 LAAG and the M68 Gauss cannon. Information. Informally and affectionately known simply as the Warthog, these light reconnaissance vehicles are a mainstay of UNSC deployments. Suitable for all terrains, it's surprisingly maneuverable for a means of conveyance that weighs in excess of 3 tons. In Halo 2, you will encounter 2 modes. The M12 Warthog LRV is armed with a 3-barreled 12.7mm machine gun known as the M41 LAAG, capable of firing 450 to 550 bullets per minute. It also has notable penetration power. This turret has been devastatingly effective in countless deployments against other vehicles and, in particular, against infantry. The M68 Gauss cannon of the M12 G1 Warthog LAAV fires 25mm projectiles. Its asynchronous linear induction motor produces a bipolar magnetic field to fire the projectiles at hypersonic velocity. It can penetrate armor and can even stop tanks, but its low rate of fire makes it largely unsuitable for sorties against large groups of enemies' infantry. It does work quite well against single Covenant soldiers, though. Controlling the Warthog. Tips. The Warthog is, even without a complement of gunner, a deadly weapon. Just run over your enemies. Scorpion. The sturdy M8088 Scorpion MBT main battle tank is an armored track vehicle for use during planetary combat. Its prime function is to provide anti-vehicular support, the destruction of light and heavy vehicles. But it can lay waste to infantry. The Scorpion is equipped with 2 weapon systems: primary 90mm high-velocity shell, secondary 7.62mm APT armor-piercing tracer. Its special ceramic titanium armor renders the Scorpion almost invulnerable to the effects of high to medium heavy weapons. The driver is well protected in the center of the vehicle. Pelican. The Pelican is a UNSC dropship used to deliver and extract combat units. It is also used to deliver vehicles. You won't have the opportunity to pilot the craft yourself, but you will find yourself in the passenger's compartment from time to time. You'll also learn to appreciate its sporadic visits. When it arrives, it is either picking you up or making an important delivery. Covenant vehicles. Covenant vehicles are designed for rapid conquest of enemy territory. Powered by boosted gravity propulsion drives, they are, like for like, blessed with greater maneuverability than the UNSC counterparts. The Ghost. The Ghost is a light vehicle deployed for speedy reconnaissance of enemy territory, or to provide fire support for infantry or larger vehicles during combat. It hovers on a fixed elevation just above the ground and, in the hands of an able pilot, is capable of incredible speeds and daredevil jumps, often or over certain low pieces of scenery. It's not the most hardy craft you'll find on the battlefield, but you can cause no end of chaos with its twin plasma cannons. The Ghost can redirect power from its weapons to its engines to provide the short-term boost of speed, but doing so will disable its weaponry. You can enter a Ghost from just behind the wings. Banshee. The Banshee is the only vehicle in Halo 2 to offer you boundless freedom of flight. It's a flexible craft during air-to-air battles, but the Covenant generally use it to bombard ground troops. The Banshee has two weapons, both of which are fired in the direction you are facing. The primary mode of attack is a twin plasma cannon. Your secondary option is a fuel rod cannon. Both have an infinite supply of ammunition, although the fuel rod cannon, read over an overview on page 30, has a slow fire rate. You can hop into a Banshee via the opening at its rear. Wraith. The Wraith is a Covenant battle tank. Its heavy armor makes it an extremely difficult target to destroy, but this toughness comes at a price. The enormous weight supported by its boosted gravity propulsion drive makes it very slow. A Wraith is armed with a plasma mortar of great destructive power. It also has two auto-firing plasma cannons mounted on each wing, which the player can't control. They'll shoot automatically at any enemy in range. You'll find the entrance on the top of the tank. Spectre. A Spectre is a cross between a dropship and a light reconnaissance vehicle. The hybrid weapons platform troop delivery systems isn't especially fast, but it is rather agile. It has a plasma cannon mounted on its rear and can be boarded by up to 4 troops. As with the Warthog, you can enter the desired point of the vessel by approaching it from the appropriate direction. Shadow. The Shadow is the Covenant's main transport vessel. It advances slowly at a low hover and can carry up to 8 troops or 1 Ghost. This number includes a pilot and optional, though invariably vital, gunner to main the plasma cannon on its roof. This weapon is very powerful. It will send infantry scurrying to cover and can even trouble armored vehicles. Like the Phantom or the Pelican, you won't be able to drive this vehicle. Phantom. The Phantom is the Covenant's dropship, used to deploy fresh troops into the combat zone. They are equipped with 3 weapons, 2 turrets on the sides towards the front, and 1 turret directly below the Phantom's nose. These provide covering fire for the complement of troops as they disembark. You can't destroy a Phantom completely, but using heavy armaments, you can at least destroy its cannons. Section 6. Enemies. Covenant. The Covenant is a highly advanced collective of different alien races that completely control a large portion of the Orion arm of the Milky Way galaxy. A caste-oriented society consisting of a ruling religious class, the prophets, a warrior class, the elites, and a worker class, including the grunts and jackals, among others. The Covenant has previously, or so available data suggests, assimilated subjugated species into its society. However, mankind's first contact with the Covenant was their complete destruction of the outer colony Harvest. For 32 years, the Covenant has waged war against the human race, culminating in the recent obliteration of the planet Reach. The Covenant's objective appears not to be conquest, but the unmitigated annihilation of our entire species. The names bestowed by humans on each Covenant race, or more pertinently, these fit to print, are those used throughout the guide. Grunt. Grunts are the lowliest beings in the Covenant hierarchy, relying on giant rebreather packs to provide them with a methane atmosphere. These creatures are prone to frequent lapses in vigilance when they're not strictly policed by a nearby elite commander. Lacking the protection of strong armor or shield technology, they are particularly vulnerable to ballistic weaponry. Essentially cannon fodder, yet dangerous when attacking in groups, particularly on higher difficulty levels. Grunts can be dispatched with a few body shots, a solitary bullet to the head, or a forceful melee attack. As you progress through Halo 2, you will encounter different varieties of grunts. Red major grunts, for example, can sustain greater damage than their yellow minor grunt equivalents. Jackals. Jackals, like grunts, are members of the Covenant worker class. The differing abilities of both species means that they complement each other well during battles, and will often be found together. The speed, equipment, and comparatively greater ferocity of the jackals makes them more dangerous foes than grunts. Their most common varieties carry a portable energy shield that is impervious to all ballistic fire, or to be more specific, those without an incredible incendiary payload. Their shields are no match for well-placed missiles. Some jackals carry a beam rifle. These snipers can fire with deadly precision over great distances, but they do not carry energy shields. This is a good thing. You can take this type of jackal down with a few shots. Elites. The elites are a proud warrior race. Subservient only to the prophets, they traditionally protect with formidable energy sword-wielding honor guards. Masters of combat, they can use a wide variety of weapons. Even the most lowly subordinate elites can be a mighty adversary. With their enormous strength and quick reflexes, elites are physically superior to humans in every respect. They are also cunning tacticians, keen shots, and clinically brutal in close-range melee encounters. Their stylized battle armor is very tough, and their entire bodies are covered with energy shields that can regenerate in a short period of time. It would not be wildly erroneous to compare the race and its capabilities with the Spartan II super soldiers, of which the Master Chief is the only known survivor. Elites are deployed in all roles. They are foot soldiers, commanders, drivers, and pilots. There are many different types. All are dangerous. Some carry energy swords, some are equipped with stealth equipment, and others use rocket packs and specialist-plated battle suits that allow them to fight even in the vacuum of space. The elite should never be underestimated. The drones, like the brutes, are a Covenant species that were not found in Halo Combat Evolved. These sentient insects are about the size of a grunt and have little apparent intelligence or personality. but they do have hard shells and the ability to fly. Drones are fast, airborne marksmen, and their agility makes them difficult to hit. Used in conjunction with other Covenant forces, drones make aerial assaults that are hard to withstand. Not only does their presence reduce available cover, they are sufficient danger in their own right when working as a group. They can coordinate attacks with frightening efficiency. As with grunts, isolated drones are easy to deal with. Hunters. Hunters are heavily armored collectives of worm-like organisms until are united under a common consciousness. They always attack in pairs. New intelligence suggests that these creatures mate early and form lifelong partnerships. This explains why a hunter becomes so enraged when its mate is slain. It will roar, charge towards the enemy responsible, attack inanimate objects, and may even vent its frustrations on the lower order of its Covenant allies. These living tanks are deployed as shock troops, their speed and incredible strength scattering opposing forces like 9 pins. Hunters wear practically impenetrable armor made from an unknown substance. These suits include an integrated fuel rod cannon, a mortar-style plasma weapon that can mean trouble for even a mighty Scorpion tank. Hunters use this weapon at long to middle ranges, but will switch to melee attacks at close quarters. Brutes. Up until this point, humanity has had no contact with these fur-covered giants. It transpires that a long-standing rivalry between elites and brutes has only been suppressed with great difficulty. Recent events have caused a power shift in the Covenant, with the brutes now accorded with a key role in the fight against humanity, and by decree of the prophets, no less. Brutes possess enormous strength, great stamina, and powerful weapons that differ from the standard Covenant armament. The abilities of the brutes might on first encounter seem reminiscent of the elites, but their behavior on battlefield lacks more than a little refinement. Notable for their raw aggression, strength, and cruelty, these beasts do not use shield technology. Worryingly, they appear not to need it. Prophets. Co-founders of the Covenant, the prophets appear to exert complete control over religious and political affairs, leaving the tasks of actual conquests to elites, leaving elites and the subordinate races. Precious little is known about these mysterious rulers. They appear to be physically weak and use a form of anti-gravity systems to hover. They are protected by the mighty elite honor guards. The latest intelligence indicates that there is a triumvirate of Covenant leaders. They are known as the Prophet of Truth, Prophet of Mercy, and the Prophet of Regret. Okay. That is going to do it for this part. I'm going to skip the tips and tactics in the guide. If you haven't seen the other videos associated with this guide, I encourage you to take a look at the video that covers the campaign section. It should be out before this one. In the campaign section, we get to read a little bit about each mission in the game and some of the interesting things that they figured you should know to tackle each mission. But for now, I think this is a good place to end this portion of the Halo 2